Hey guys, welcome back to Sonic 1 for the Sega Genesis. And we are now in Starlight Zone with one of the greatest tracks ever.
Starlight, Starbright, the first star I see tonight.
It's so romantic, Jordan.
I wish I might run faster this stage tonight.
I think we were just serenaded.
That's what I thought. I didn't know there was going to be a pun here.
Oh, actually, what we were discussing between parts was Dan brought up the whole spin dash, and no, that wasn't a thing till Sonic 2, which is also what. But in Sonic Genesis, that was the it was a port of this game for the GBA. That was it was released the same. It was paired up with the release of Sonic 06. That may have been Sonic's worst year ever, because Sonic Genesis, which was a port of a great game.
I don't even remember that game.
No,
I don't remember. That name is like unfamiliar to me.
Look it up. It may give you a headache because the frame rate was atrocious. But it absolutely destroys this game in every imaginable way possible. It chugs like no tomorrow.
So the name Sonic Genesis is reminding me of, actually, they named, so how, did you guys read the Archie Sonic comics at all?
Yep.
Okay, because I used to, like, that was pretty much how I got into reading comics, is like when I was a kid, I pretty much read exclusively Sonic comics.
Yeah, man.
And so they had a thing called Sonic Genesis in there that was like a retelling of the events of the first game, as if there are actual events in this first game other than you run through a level, you fight Robotnik.
That was there was a reason behind that. So I don't know if you guys were aware of the Ken Penders lawsuit. But one of the artists, there was a whole falling out between him and the comics with Archie. He claimed that some of the original characters that he quote unquote created belonged to him. So I think it was a fight for more rights for them and all that, and more. It might come down to money. But basically, when that lawsuit began, we lost a lot of the. And he did. There were some good characters that he came up with. A lot of them were like part of the Echidna Knuckles clan.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically what happened is that. When that whole falling out happened, they didn't know what was going to happen with the characters. So they had to cut a really good story arc midway and introduce the Genesis, where basically the entire universe got reset.
Okay, so is Genesis a newer thing? I forget.
Yeah, Genesis. Yeah, that story arc was a newer thing. The Genesis arc.
That would explain why like Knuckles is basically all alone, because like it was basically like a big fu to like that guy. It's like, oh, he had a big family, now he doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That comic was really depressing.
I have
basically
been meaning to go back and reread some of those, especially the Knuckles comics, because I was really into those when I was a kid, and I remember them being like somewhat more interesting, like sort of dealing with politics a little bit and like being a little bit darker, as dark as a
kid's comic can go. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, like, don't discount Sonic for being dark. I mean, we all remember Sonic Adventure 2, right? Oh. And then of course Shadow the Hedgehog.
Right. That's the game that doesn't exist for me, Jordan. That one. It not only is it a horrible game, but it retcon. I will gladly play Sonic 06 any day before picking up Westopolis one more time in my life. God damn.
I don't know what that is. Can you explain what Westopolis is?
Westopolis is the first level in Shadow the Hedgehog. So remember how Sonic Adventure 2 and how the Sonic Adventure series had the multiple storyline things going on? Yeah. So basically they thought that was a great idea, so they made you play Shadow the Hedgehog about, I don't know, 40 times before you could get the true ending.
Okay.
And it was atrocious. You had to play the first level, that however many times it takes to unlock all, I think, 14 endings. And it is a grind. I've played some of the longest RPGs, but nothing will compare to the grind of Shadow the Hedgehog.
I remember renting that game at back when Blockbuster was still a thing, and I'm pretty sure I just like erased it from my memory because it was pretty bad.
Not only that, but aliens literally come out, like Shadow is contemplating life, and then aliens literally pop out of the sky and tell him to do work. I'm like, what?
I mean, listen, these are we're not talking about a dense mythology here.
No.
It's not like...
This is Sonic the Hedgehog, a story about a hyper-fast blue hedgehog.
It's like, it's not like the idea of aliens coming down and telling, once again, a hedgehog what to do is like a big deal. It's not like, oh, how dare they?
Yeah.
How dare they ruin the Sonic canon with these animals or with these aliens?
Does anybody remember X-Play?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
I loved X-Play in their early days.
Yeah, well, I remember one time, cause before I played the game of Shadow the Hedgehog, I watched the review of it, right? And and at one point they're like, they could probably construe a lot of the dialogue as racist because they keep talking about black aliens.
Oh, yeah.
And they keep,
There's also, I mean, there's a weird thing too where they give Shadow like a gun and a motorcycle in that game.
And you never use you can use a motorcycle, but it's extremely, like, it's out of the way.
Yeah,
right, but it's a way that like almost sort of uncomfortably racializes him as a character, right?
Yeah, the thing was like when I heard that I was like thinking, oh, that's kind of weird. And then when I played it, I'm like, yeah, I can see where that comparison comes from.
Giving Shadow a gun was at that time I see what Sonic Team was trying to do. They were because at that time they recognized that a lot of their fans who stuck around since the classic days were getting older and getting into games like GTA and all that sort of stuff.
I'm not sure if it's that. I mean, you're right in that it's like Sonic fans getting older. I think it's more it's more like some sort of kind of sad ploy for like the gaming trends of the time, like you said, like GTA or these sorts of things. I mean, this is the thing that Sega has been bad at with Sonic in the modern times, is like they can never stick with one thing because they're always just trying to move with the trends.
Yeah, and it shows. It really shows. They can never stick to a format.
And I mean, like you can sort of tell that, but I mean, like Shadow the Hedgehog was basically like, everybody fanboying about Shadow and Sonic Adventure 2, and then they're like, oh, we have to keep using him. It's like, oh, let's give him his own game, and then maybe that'll make them shut up about it.
You hit the nail on the head. A lot, like, after Shadow died in SA2, a lot of fans, like, he was huge amongst the fans, and, like, Sonic Team was pressured into bringing them back.
They never really could get his story straight afterwards, though. I mean, like, as much as I love Shadow, like, he had sort of a perfect arc when you think about it, but then it's like you had to do
I'm a shadow android, this is who I am.
He's a clone, now he's an android, and it's like I was like,
listen,
what is he already?
There aren't that many good characters in Sonic games. Here are the good characters: Knuckles and the Chaotix. That's it.
Well, I'm sorry, Mighty hasn't shown up in a game since I think Knuckles Chaotix, actually.
Sonic Heroes?
I like him. I like the Croc. I don't even remember the Croc's name, but he's a cool guy.
Oh, Croc. Vector. Croc.
Vector.
He was actually he existed. He was one of the earliest Sonic friends of Sonic that existed, because I think in Sonic 1 he was supposed to be the DJ for the sound test menu. So he existed long before a lot of the other.
Have you guys played Sonic Heroes at all?
Yes.
I do like parts of that game.
Okay, because I like Sonic Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sonic Heroes is a good game. I think it was like, the like team of characters was like a pretty cool idea, even if it doesn't quite, like, going back to it doesn't really materialize in like a good way. It's just like, here's some combat for some reason in a Sonic game. I think it was like a cool idea. I like the idea that the different teams are sort of correspond to like difficulty levels almost.
Yeah.
And I actually think that game was a really interesting way to make that game, coming off of Sonic Adventure 2 and stuff, like to make it sort of closer to the old games, have sort of these disconnected levels, but still take some of the new concepts forward in a kind of interesting way.
I agree.
Where credit is due, Sonic Team is experimental as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you can.
It's funny that you say that, because we're in scrap brain mode, and I think that it just explains Sonic Team extremely well.
Actually, it's funny that we are talking about like all the new characters in Sonic and all that, because like here we're watching a game. Oh god, I'm getting nailed. We're watching a game where Sonic is like, it's just Sonic. It's just Sonic and Robotnik, and that's it. And like, it's amazing how far Sonic has come to this day, and how many friends, quote unquote.
I think a lot of people.
I really wish he was still called Robotnik.
Yeah, me too. It's a way better name.
Well, you guys know the whole story, right? That he was technically originally Eggman, and then when it came to America, it was
Robotnik is a way cooler name.
It is. I agree.
Well, they sort of retconned it so that, like, Robotnik is his actual name, but they just still call him Eggman for no.
And Robotnik's just like, oh well, I will accept your mockery, ha ha ha, and just go with Eggman. It's like,
I think a lot of people, going back to your point about like the friends of Sonic and sort of having him be just alone on this game, is like, I think a lot of people, probably rightly so, sort of chart the decline of Sonic with the rise of how many extra characters there are in those games. Most of those characters are not really good. They're all just sort of placeholders.
Well,
like,
I mean, and it's thanks to them that we have the wait, what the heck happened?
this is a nice little bit of editing here, Will. Man, I remember I was so excited for Sonic X when it came out, and was
then
so
season
disappointed.
1, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Came out, fine.
Yeah, the Japanese version is a lot better, mainly because sorry Dan, you're probably not gonna like it, but it's because they use a lot more of the game music. That's
they
why
actually?
I liked it. But yeah, they do, they do, which is nice.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but then, of course, it got localized by 4Kids, and that was already a kiss of death right there.
Yeah, 4Kids isn't a thing anymore, thank God.
Well, they are.
Are they not?
They are.
Are they still a thing? Like they don't
are
make
still a
shows
thing.
anymore.
They rebranded their name, though, and they got bought out by Konami. So now they're 4K Media.
Oh, that's what they became. Okay.
So but it's a different name, but it's literally the exact same people.
Oh God. Yeah. Sonic X was a.